Hey guys, welcome to the special marathon training series on the Mike White podcast. Clark and I are planning to run a marathon at the end of 2023, so we'll be getting together every week on the podcast, discussing how our training's going and what the path is moving forward. Hope y'all enjoy. It is time for marathon week, marathon prep week. It's not the actual marathon we're running, but Sunday I'm going to do a 26 miler. And I'm here on the phone with Clark Blunt. How's it going?
Hey, MJ. Going well over here.
So last we talked, you had to go to the doctor and you had like pain in your abdomen. It looks like it was something with your appendix. What's the update on that?
So I went back. I've been taking some anti-inflammatories, and so it helped out a little bit. But so I went back Wednesday, and they said that it is still probably inflamed, but when I was there, they said that it could be internal bleeding. So now that I've got to go back one more time, and I've got one more checkup, but they said next time I go in, they're going to schedule a time to get that appendix out. So I
Wow.
think it's a good thing that I went in, but yeah, it sounded. Yes, I don't know what it was. I don't think it was from running.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff's just random. Like it just happens to some people, it seems like, just throughout life, which is kind of
Yeah.
crazy. I remember there was a baseball player that got it. It was pretty. I think Matt Holliday had that, missed a few games. But yeah, glad you got it checked out. And it blows my mind though that they can't like do the scan right there. Like why do they have to schedule a new appointment and send you back and forth all these times? That seems pretty
Well,
inefficient.
they wanted to see if that medicine I was taking would help out some, and it helped out a little bit. So they wanted to make sure that it wasn't. They wanted to make sure that it was the appendix before they like rushed me into surgery or anything, because it could just exacerbate the root cause. It was interesting all the same. But this podcast is about running a marathon, right?
Yeah, but also being smart. So making sure that you're not running when you have a freaking possible ruptured appendix for 2 weeks,
That,
2+ weeks.
that's true.
So
I'll tell you, it was tempting to just keep running through it because my mentality was also that no matter if I had a marathon or not, I was going to run that that mock marathon.
yeah, it's a good little benchmark, and you can still do it. Just take few weeks off, and we'll alter the plan because I need to see when I want to restart this and how that's going to affect the timing aspect, because I know the marathon I'm going to run for like time is in December, and I don't know if you've decided which one you want to run yet and how that will overlap. So we might have a little bit of different training regimens after this first stretch, which is
Yeah,
fine. But
yeah.
I'm thinking after this week, maybe even taking a couple weeks off of like really hardcore training before getting back in the swing of things.
I think that's probably good if you consider it like kind of like a season, like if you were running cross country season and this was your state meet, yeah, you take about 2 weeks off to maybe at most a month and then get back into it, just having that base under you. So that's a good idea.
Yeah, and it'll give us time to plan out to see if there's any changes we want to make, if we want to stretch it out longer or how we want to do things. Because I know definitely for me, this week I altered it quite a bit because I was still having, it wasn't like muscle pain, which is what typically I've been getting from running a lot, is just my muscles being either sore or inflamed. It was more like joint stuff with my knee, and then also like right in the front part of the shin. And I so if I'm running this marathon this week, I wanted to make sure that went away before race day. So I took it pretty easy. I didn't do um, I only did a few like the actual workouts. I did bike for one of them, which was fine, and then um, yeah, like today I'm not gonna run. I'm just gonna rest and see how that goes.
That's well, yeah, it's good. Well, especially with the long run coming up, it's better to be recovered than push through something.
Yeah, but so my big takeaways were the cycling. I thought was a good alternative because I think it's still gives that cardio, but it wasn't the same like stress on the joints. And then one thing I found, freaking Walmart plus delivery for groceries came in pretty clutch. So if you're trying to save time, you could get they deliver everything, so you could get all the fresh stuff. And it was like I was kind of skeptical about because I got like avocados, wondering, and I usually like to pick avocados because some of them are really shitty and are already past being ripe or super green. But no, I was pleasantly surprised about like how efficient that was, and it really is. There's no excuse for not having healthy food in the house when Walmart delivers. And then the other thing that I did this week is one of the runs, just a slow run with. Have you heard of the Meat Mafia guys?
Wow.
Yeah, they're a podcast about like eating meat. One of the guys is carnivore. I don't know if the other guy's full carnivore, but how that shift in diet and like the fresh foods and not eating processed stuff. And they just interview a bunch of people like that, and they go into other stuff too. One of the guys was spoke or he emceed a Bitcoin talk at that Bitcoin event I went to. So they're kind of in the Bitcoin scene as well. But they were doing like a weekly run, so it was nice to run with some other people, and especially if that's one of those things where if people want to stay consistent, if you run with a group, it makes it really easy to be consistent. Like what we're doing on this podcast. I don't want to let you down.
It's straight. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'll say it was so much easier for me to just go. I don't want to do it, especially. But then having this where we were going to report out on it, I mean, it was almost like I had to go do at least something, right, to go train. But yeah, it's almost like building that habit. Once you started doing it, it almost felt wrong not doing it.
Yeah, and I even felt like this week when I was taking it easy, I felt a little bit of I don't know if shame's the right word, but I think that's healthy. It's like I don't want to make this a habit, but it was I really because you can rationalize a lot of stuff, so
Sure.
it's easy to talk yourself out of it. So I think the default mindset should be aggressive and to do it no matter what. But
Yeah.
there's also a case to pump the brakes every once in a while, but that shouldn't be the default mindset. That's kind of hard to navigate. All
So
right,
you're
man.
saying I'm in the wrong. You're saying I'm in the wrong for pulling out. I get it. That's cool.
Well, if anything, I don't think you have brakes. That's where I think it's good. You almost need a coach because you're so like I don't know if your pain tolerance is so low or you're just so determined that I feel like you'll push through anything. But sometimes you need to give yourself a little break. But I mean, that's totally. I don't know what the right answer is there. That's why I think coaches are so helpful. That the coaches
Yeah.
should be the brakes and you're just the accelerator. Just go, 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 go.
I think that's good. I think that's a good way to put it.
All right, man. So I'm gonna list out these runs. Please don't do them. Please just rest and get that appendix out of you and get ready to go for this next stretch. But this week, Monday, it's an hour run in the morning and then a 15-20 minute shakeout run in the afternoon. Tuesday, 45-minute run. Wednesday, either take it off or a super easy 45-minute run. Thursday, another 45-minute run. And then Friday, since I'm running Sunday, just 45 again. And then Saturday, day before the marathon, just a 20, 30-minute shakeout run. And Sunday, I'm going to knock out that marathon in the morning. I'm probably going to do it on the trail, the Ladyburg Lake Trail. So I'll drive down there, and it's a big loop, so I don't have to worry about like stoplights or any of that. I might have to do it more than once, but I'm going to knock out 26, and that'll be it. Got any?
Oh man, this is exciting.
What's my zone 2, my easy runs have been, I'd say, like 8:45, 9 minutes. So I think this first marathon, I'd be very happy if I could get like 8:30. I'd be happy below 8:30. I want to shoot for 8. And I don't know if those are good goals or not. What do you think?
8:30. Yeah, I think that'd be good. I mean, you're running it alone, so it's a little bit more difficult. But I think that's probably a pretty good goal for you.
Yeah, because I could, when we were doing the like 30-minute tempos at marathon pace, I could keep about like 7:40 right around there. But I was pretty beat, and that was only 30 minutes. So I think the 7:30 marathon would be very lofty, but 8:30 is kind of what I'm shooting for.
Yeah, and I would go for the more conservative number at first. I get to 13 miles, so get halfway done, and then very gradually, like I'm talking, don't hit 13 and then feel good and then turn it on, because you got a lot more run to go. But if you wanted to very incrementally increase your pace, that would be a pretty good idea.
Okay, I'll try that out. And then food-wise, because since we haven't done anything past, like 14 miles, 15 miles, I'm going to bring a little electrolyte pill. And then I have a little bit of water, not a ton of water. And then I'm going to bring a bag of olives, like green olives, and see how that goes.
All right, that is the strangest thing I've ever heard, but I am very excited to hear how that goes.
All right, man. Well, we'll tune back in next week, I guess, to see the results, and hopefully Clark will have a date to where he'll know when that appendix is coming out or what's going on. So get healthy, Clark, and thanks for another week of the Training Podcast. Thank you for listening to the Mike White Podcast. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Mike White Pod, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Y'all have a great day.